Hi, I want to share with you a dream that my youngest daughter had about a week ago. I'm trying not to talk too loud because my son is asleep and we're in the hospital. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to wake him up. But anyhow, uh, it was about a week ago. I was on the way to a repast with my two daughters and I mentioned that because I was in the city of Inglewood, which I mentioned in one of my dreams. I had a dream about a large quake in Southern California, and that was the specific city that I was in when the quake occurred. And so, what reminded me of it is, first of all, that we were in the city, and secondly, the area, the streets that I was driving on were a little hilly. And so, not steep hills or anything like that, but if you know that area, it's just a little bumpy. But anyhow, I mentioned to my oldest daughter that this was the city that I saw in my dream, my earthquake dream. And I had told the kids about it like a while back. I said, Mommy, I had this dream, and it's a really big earthquake here, but we were okay. And, that was like, I haven't talked about that dream with them in a while, a long time, months. We've been dealing with my son's illness, getting over cancer. The Lord is healing him day by day. He's getting stronger and stronger. But anyhow, let me jump back into the dream. So we're driving through the city, and then my youngest, after I mentioned that, I was going to change the subject because we were hungry. We were on our way to the restaurant for the repast, and my youngest daughter said, Mommy, I saw the earthquake too. And then I started listening to her, and I said, Well, you saw the earthquake? What do you mean you saw the earthquake? And it turned out that she had a dream. And I was trying to find out when the dream was, but she has no way to reference time. She doesn't know yesterday from 2 weeks ago. She can't say, well, I had a dream like 2 weeks ago or Friday night. She doesn't understand the reference, how to reference time like that. So it sounded like it was recent though, and I asked her, can you tell me what you saw? And she started off by saying that she was at home alone, it was dark, and that she was hungry. And then my oldest daughter asked her something, and then she stopped and answered that question, but she incorporated it into the dream that wasn't, I could tell wasn't part of the dream. And she was looking outside, and she saw clouds in the sky, and she said there were clouds, and there was the sky. So I said, wow, that's interesting. And then I just kind of changed the subject because I said, well, she really had this dream that, she'll remember the details, if she's able. And I'll just, let some time pass, and if maybe I'll ask her again at a later time. I don't want to give her leading questions or anything, or suggest like my oldest daughter did. So later on that evening, we were just about home. I took them home, and my little one kept talking about the dream. She kept on mentioning the dream, and I said, well, tell me again what you saw. And I instructed my oldest one, please don't ask her anything or not say anything because I don't want to throw her off. And so she said that she repeated it again. She repeated this dream at least 4 or 5 times to me, and every detail was exactly the same. She was in the house, she was alone, she was hungry, and she said it was dark, and she said it was really, really windy outside. And then she said that it was raining, and I think she said thundering and lightning. And also, by the way, when she brought that dream back up, and I didn't mention that to her, she brought it back up to me that night. She said, "Oh, the rapture dream, the rapture and earthquake dream." She was like coinciding the two together. And I said, "Rapture? You didn't tell me about a rapture dream." And she said, "Yeah." And then I still didn't really get a clear picture as to what she saw about the rapture, but she definitely saw what she described as an earthquake. She said she was in the house, it was dark. Um, she came downstairs to get something to eat, and there was no food in the refrigerator. And she said she was thirsty, so she did pour herself something to drink. And then she said that I came home and my son came home, and then I think she said her big sister came home. And then she said that the ground started to shake really, really hard. And then she said that it was shaking so hard that the lights on the street went out. And then she said, then it got really dark. And then she said, the trees on the street broke in half. And she said later on the people cut some of the trees down. And it sounded to me like they were blocking the road, and people had to cut them down to get through or something, I don't know. But then she said, darn, I wrote it down. I don't know where I wrote it, but hopefully I can find a piece of paper and I can add details in the box below this video. But she said it was shaking really hard, and that, oh, that's right. She said the ground started to crack, and there were big, like there were big holes in the ground where the ground was cracking open. And she said some of the cars started going into the cracks, and and she said she was afraid, and but we were all like together and stuff. And then it seems like there's one other major detail, maybe not, but again, I'll find it on that paper hopefully. So, and then I said, well, when was the rupture? Did you see the rupture? And she said, yeah, but that's all she would say. She wouldn't give any description about it. So, needless to say, I was amazed because my other two kids have had dreams. Have had amazing dreams, and I wondered, did this one have dreams? But there was only one time that she mentioned something. I said, oh, she had an interesting dream. It wasn't deep or heavy or anything like that. It was just something to let me know that she does have dreams. And I knew she would have them. Sometimes she would talk in her sleep, but I didn't know if they were like things like this. And then she mentioned this to me that one night, so I thought it was very interesting. I wanted to record the video that night, but it's hard to do that in the hospital. It's even hard now. I've had to stop and re-record this thing at least 10, 15 different times. And I'm tired and I want to go to sleep, but I don't want to let another day go by without recording that. And then also, I thought it was interesting that I saw 8.0. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I've been kind of out of the loop, but I saw that there was an 8 or a 7.0 earthquake. Maybe it was an aftershock in the Solomon Islands from one a couple of years back, I think. And then there was that meteorite impact today. There was one that came close to the Earth. I guess they say they're unrelated events, but I knew about the one that was going to fly by the Earth today because I actually put that in a video that I did called High Time about the last days, and I was doing a little research on their Earth asteroids, and that's when I saw that that one was going to be approaching the Earth. But of course it didn't hit, thank God, you know. But it was amazing to see that that would come through at the same, like, hours before the one that impacted Russia. And they said it's the largest one, the largest impact like that since the Tunguska asteroid or meteorite that disintegrated pretty much over that forest area, flattened so many trees. And so it's the largest one. It's interesting that it keeps happening over Russia. I don't know why. But it's almost like, I know Lord said in the last days there would be signs in the heavens, and you can't put your head in the sand and ignore these things. Coincidence? I don't think so. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. Blizzard, historic, Nemo, the storm, historic, Sandy, all these things are just, I don't know, just kind of, I believe they're eye-openers, and I just say it's time, not time, but I just admonish you to search your heart and make sure that you're ready to meet the Lord at all times. Whether you're a believer or unbeliever, it's time to, if you're an unbeliever, to know, seek Him for yourself and find out for yourself about Him, that He is real, whether you believe it or not. And I'd hate to end up in eternity and find out that I was wrong. I don't want to take that chance. I almost lost my life coming back to the hospital a couple nights back, and it really shook me. It caused me to do a lot of self-examination, which I've been doing anyway, but I urge you to do the same. And you can turn off this video if you want, but this is only for somebody who's interested in hearing it. I don't want to bore you, so if I'm boring you, there are plenty of other YouTube videos, but I just want to share what I thought was fascinating, what my daughter said, and I'm sure you'll find it fascinating also. Have a blessed day, evening, whatever time that you find yourself watching this. And again, search your hearts, seek the Lord's face like never before, because He is coming soon. I don't know how long soon is, only He knows. No man knows the day or the hour but the Father. And someone commented on one of my videos that I believe in like reincarnation and stuff like that. I don't believe in that at all. I just believe that we were sent here for a purpose. We're to get that work done with the time that we have, and death for the believer is not the end. That's all I was saying, is that we're here to do our work, and then death is not the end. It's not a bad thing. It's sad for those that are left behind to pick up the pieces of our loved ones who are gone, but it's not the end. But anyway, that's another video, another time. Peace be unto you. God bless, and I'll be back again, I'm sure. Take care. Bye.